How's it going, everyone? It's Liam Caddison here, and we're reacting to another episode of Charmed as we're on episode 15 of Season 2. It's been some time since I had my last dose of Charmed content. It hasn't been too long, it's only been a couple of weeks, but it still feels like a long time. But that's because Christmas season hit, and I wanted to kind of reduce things in terms of what I was putting out on Patreon, on YouTube, with me wanting to relax as we concluded the year, so yeah. Anyways, enough about me. Yeah, it was really great stuff last time, as we had some interesting ideas that was brought up in the Charmed universe, I guess, with souls and reincarnations after we discovered Prue, Piper and Phoebe's past lives, with some intense bits with Phoebe going back into the past and dealing with, well, not necessarily who, were her sisters, but still family related and not as benevolent, I guess, as we have right now with the power of three. So yeah, but it was very interesting, as well as exploring Phoebe and her worries about potentially going into a bit of a bad spell, maybe, with the fact that her past incarnation wasn't exactly a good influence. So yeah, but excited to get into this episode. So with that said, let's get into episode 15 of Charmed Season 2. Let's go. Oh boy! They were trying to bust him out. Oh. He'd be good at security if that was his actual desired occupation. Yeah, definitely.
It's what you want to do. It's just what? Well, isn't photography just a really dicey profession money-wise? Ow.
Ask Peter Parker that. She's got a point.
Is that how many women professional photographers do you know?
Where's my pictures of Spider-Man?
And that powers above send a sign to free my sister's heart, one that will lead her to true love.
Hold on.
Hello, Prue.
Oh, okay. Whoa. Did she just drop the camera? Oh my god. Those things are not cheap, bud.
Short Leonardo, Bodega Bay, where Dan is from. Don't act blonde. You cast that spell, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Couldn't keep it secret.
Asked you not to. And at a time
Especially
like
when
this,
Piper
I was
just...
just trying to help Piper, and it was before Prue disappeared.
You, this book shadows go.
She's... Oh, hello. Now we got our premonition.
Lidvac. That's what they call him.
Where are we?
Sounds like a... I don't know, mid-90s band lit back.
It's going to be before you came along, cut me off from my dreams.
Because you tried to kill me.
Yeah, no,
That
good
was
luck,
before I got to
Bane.
know you.
That's where they always escape to. Do you understand me?
Don't let your dreams be
find
dreams is basically what this episode entails.
No.
Great.
You will. And then you'll find the weapon.
Bad way of being fired, right? Oh.
Hey, I don't think you understand. As long as you're here with me, your life is on the line.
Winnie's
too.
always going to be
I can take
yearning
care of
for
myself.
Piper.
Not against Lid. You'll never see me again, I promise.
Oh! Oof! Really? That's what it... Oh, shh. Oh!
Calling for a Leonora Watkins. Leo Nora Watkins. Isn't that weird? You have the wrong number.
Go away!
We believe that Bane is
Daryl's just
somewhere.
like...
Maybe there's something in there that can tell you where.
So what the hell is he doing? Oh God, I hope he's not hurting her.
No. She's hurting him.
So you can either take your pants off on your own, or I can always do it by force.
Okay. Look. I don't want to say I ship it, but I made a comment before.
I am getting nowhere.
This isn't helping.
Okay, now we're back to Dan and Leo. Mariners, Angels.
No, Phoebe, 8 to 7.
It is a
8 to 7?
huge coinky dink, isn't
Yes,
it?
there's an 8 to 7
Angels.
at the top of the hill.
I'll drive. You navigate.
I love how this just redirected to Peru.
That. Dreams.
I don't believe that.
Don't let your dreams be dreams.
Theirs. The source likes it when I feed him witches.
So, ooh.
That's how I got to where I am.
Well, aren't you lovely? Whoa!
View is amazing.
It's not as good as mine. Maybe you left.
That I would help him. I can't leave him here when everything I need to do is clearly at the manor.
Oh,
Oh, hello.
Hello. Nice
this,
to see you
this,
again.
this,
Goes on.
yeah, this doesn't look, yeah. Ah!
Sure I do. I scare everybody. For good reason.
Eh.
By the way, your essence isn't the only one I sense here.
You need to lay off the
There's
essence
a
shit.
witch. And not just any witch.
Hey.
One of the charmed ones.
Look, but there's nothing in here about how to vanquish him. Maybe that means there isn't a way.
Where there's a demon, there's a way.
That's not the saying.
Our jewelry better still be where it's supposed to be. We need to focus on Litvak.
Yeah,
Do we?
well,
I mean,
that
aside from
might
the fact
be
there's nothing
true,
in the
but your
book that
mirror,
can
on the
help
other
us.
hand.
Maybe we should just let Bat.
And I really don't care. But trust this. I've had it with all this supernatural crap, and I'll do anything I have to get out from underneath it.
That's what worries me.
Ooh.
Okay, you know what?
Okay,
I trust him.
it's easy
And please, I'm just
to
asking you guys
doubt
to trust me.
everything
If
he
we're going to get
says.
Litvak, then we're gonna have to work together. With Bane.
The bigger evil is out
Otherwise,
there.
we're all gonna-
A little too easy.
Let's just get this over with.
Oh, he played him like a fiddle.
He didn't freeze.
Yeah.
I'm immune to the parlor tricks of witches.
Yo.
What's the matter? Bane didn't tell you about that power?
He said he didn't know.
Oh, he's gonna be. No, he's. Yeah.
He just didn't.
Hyper unfreeze Bane.
Wait. Yeah. Bane can duck. Bane can duck.
Tell the source that we said hi.
Wasn't Bane's hand, but oh!
I had to. If I would have told you about his power, you would have come up with a different plan of attack. And Litvak would have known it. He's telepathic, remember? So you have to believe I double-crossed you. So you believe it too.
I would
Nice.
figure it out in time.
We, trust each other.
Is it bad I low-key... I do love these two, in a sense. But, yeah, it sucks for... Like, given... Ever since Andy, it does hurt.
What was the outcome, Dan or Leah?
TBC?
I never needed a sign to tell me where my heart lies.
Again, up for Dan. Up for Daniel. I mean... Look, I see the universe is just pointing in the direction of Leo. and Piper, and I'm here for it because I love them too, anyways. But I mean, Dan's done nothing wrong. Dan has just tried to be the most supporting guy there, but yeah, poor buddy. But oh man, I mean, it does suck that Bane was a bit naughty, and yeah, he's racked up a pretty impressive resume because honestly. And I did say this before in the other episode he was in, but, I mean, there was chemistry between him and Prue anyways. And I liked that more than Prue and Jack, to be fair. And this episode just continues to escalate. Yes, of course, there may have been a bit of a helping hand with the other sisters, of course, but I think the chemistry was always there. And the plan that they... concocted against it was really neat to see, you know, them two working together, also kind of shutting down Phoebe and Piper in a sense, because obviously they're, well, Phoebe more so, she was more so vocal about it, but still it was really great for, you know, Prue to come through and, help out Bane as well, because with Bane, I think he's always had that kind of soft spot for Prue, and that just extended in this episode. So yeah, I mean, the chemistry between Prue and Bane was, I mean, I think it was episode 9, wasn't it, in regards to when Bane was on. I really love that chemistry here, and things just extended a bit in this episode. I mean, yeah, it wasn't condonable kidnapping her and all of that, but I think, you know, deep down there's been a bit of a spark, if anything, and obviously things extended in this episode, but even in episode 9 of season 2, I feel like there was a slight pull, if anything, so... yeah, because obviously we had the spell in terms of showing a side, etc. That was meant to affect Piper. But I think deep down, like I said, going back to that episode, I think deep down, you know, Prue's has always had a bit of a thing with Bane in this episode. So yeah, maybe some things can be improved and all of that in terms of from Bane's perspective, but no, it was really interesting stuff seeing things spark, I guess, between them two. So yeah, I mean, Litvak, you know, may not be the most interesting villain, but there were certain teasers, of course, especially with who he was serving. So I'm assuming we're going to escalate things with the source, with the kind of setup that we got in this episode. Like, even the sisters were discussing things coming to the end of the episode. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how that is going to pan out. But yeah, I mean, I did like the idea, of course, that we had this pact between Bane and Prue in terms of, I'm going to betray, although I feel like in some capacity he should have sensed that was coming. Like, especially with the idea that, like, you want to take precautions anyways, not just the fact that, you know, he was telepathic. So, yeah, but, yeah, it was still very, like, great to have, Bane just, work with Prue and, kind of put, well, I wouldn't say put down Phoebe, but Phoebe, was... Like, I think with every comment she made, she was just, like, not so keen on what Bane had to say, etc., or Bane being involved in the plan. And, like, to be fair, I mean, I agree. Like, even if there wasn't the idea that Prue and Bane made that little pact. Oh, we're gonna do this to Litvak. It's all about the bigger evil at this minute, and it's not Bane. So you don't want to cause any kind of tension, etc. Yes, it might not be. It's not necessarily okay. We need to trust Bane, but we need to work with him in order to make sure that the bigger evil gets vanquished, and then we can deal with Bane, because we've done so before. So, yeah, but still, it was. I mean, it was kind of mixed because of the fact. I mean, I think it was because of the fact that Bane was a bit naked. So yeah, but it was a bit mixed because from one moment she was ogling Bane, Phoebe, and then the next, yeah, she's just crucifying him. So, but yeah, it was. There was some very, very interesting elements in regards to the spell, of course, that Phoebe initially acted on. That was supposed to affect Piper, but alas, although, to be fair, Leo has always had that infatuation with Piper. And he's always going to be trying to shoot his shot with Piper. So, yeah, interestingly, no Dan in this episode. So, yeah, I mean, it's funny, like, even though that there wasn't any kind of impact in terms of, okay, a sign's coming to tell me that Leo should be mine, etc. When deep down Piper's had that thing for Leo and vice versa. I feel like this episode kind of gave a sign that, okay, Leo and Piper, they're endgame material. Sorry, Dan, we loved you, but you're gonna have to take the loss on this one, bud. So yeah, because I was kind of thinking when Phoebe enacted on that spell, we were going to see another situation where Dan and Leo would be competing over Piper, etc. So, but yeah, Dan's just in a corner at this moment, upset, and I can't blame him because, like, he's tried his best, bless him, but yeah, but yeah, I really loved the idea in terms of seeing what's next for Prue as well, in terms of her occupation, and not just that though, but it fitting with the whole idea of dreams, like, don't let your dreams be dreams, etc., and all of that, and how that was kind of, like, I guess central in this episode. But with Prue, we had her wanting to go into photography, which is pretty neat. And not just that though, but it's something that she's always wanted to do, and she's had to make the sacrifice really in order to look out for her sisters. So I'm hoping that does escalate in. It's not just going to be like a short-term thing. I mean, obviously there was concerns in regards to the I mean, look at Peter Parker, for crying out loud. He's probably the one of the most successful photographers in the Daily Bugle, and yeah, JJ just shafts him. So, but yeah, hopefully it's not going to be a short-term thing, and this is going to be the next step for her. So, yeah, but yeah, it was just very, very, like I said, I think with Prue and Bane, I think that was the, you know, just seeing their chemistry flair was just really, really great. Even if, you know, things could have been a bit better for Bane, like he could not be, you know, so kidnappy, etc. Yeah, so, it was, like, I don't know, I just really, really, finding, I don't know, a very, very shippy vibe with them two, and I shouldn't have. But at the end of the day, I think just the chemistry is just really, really it just hits there. So yeah, but yeah, it was you know, not bad of an episode. I you know, loved how you know, misinterpreted signs can really be, like we did have with the whole Piper Phoebe situation, with Leo being involved, and how that was actually meant to this episode, as in terms of Prue in this episode, should I say. So yeah, even though that some things were like, so like the whole Marina's Angels thing, that was very, very, yeah. But no, it was very, very interesting stuff in terms of bringing back Bane, because like I said, I feel like with his character, I gelled more towards him in a romantic sense than I did with Jack in regards to Prue being centralized around this. So yeah, and you know, he did have a very, very interesting characteristic about him. So to see that extended in this episode, and you know, he was a bit of a dreamer himself as well. Like, he was like, oh, I know I've racked up so much in terms of the crime department, but let's run away together. Like, Prue was never going to do that. So unless he was going to die, there was only one way out for him. So, but thankfully he kind of realized, you know, I've forked up in some capacity, and I need to pay my debts. So yeah, it's a shame we're probably not going to see him again unless he just gets time off in some weird capacity, because with what he's done, I don't think that's going to be a possibility. But yeah, I do love the idea that you got Bane and Prue as a couple. So yeah, but overall, not bad of an episode. And yeah, I feel like this is setting up some things, especially with the Source. It's a matter of, like, with Piper and Leo, she's gonna have to tell Dan. I don't want things to become complicated for the triangle. I mean, it's already a bit of a kerfuffle anyways. But Dan has to know. Dan needs to be cut a break, because he's this is it. He's done nothing wrong though, and it's funny because you go back to for me, I go back to episode 1 of season 2, and I'm like, okay, what the hell is up with you, buddy? In before he's the Source. But you go back to that, and I was casting suspicion, especially with the fact that the Piper and Leo ship was in jeopardy. But yeah, Dan's just been decent, and she's got to have to tell him. If she's still got these feelings, like, no spell can impact that. If she's still got those feelings for Leo, yeah, she's got to have to tell him, and she's got to be fair, and she's got to be like Piper, I would say, being someone of generosity. So, because it is unfair for Dan, really, at the end of the day. So yeah, but yeah, I will see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. You can check out my videos on the right if you want to check out more of my content. You can also subscribe to my media feeds and channel if you want to. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Hope you guys take care, and I will see you guys next time. Toodles!